Welcome to the channel. Today's episode, I'm going to be sharing the day-to-day for a sales development rep and 3 things that can help you be successful in the role. You got to get into tech. What's going on, y'all? I'm Tech Bag Trey, and like I said, today I'm going to be talking about the day-to-day of a sales development rep or business development rep and 3 ways that you can be successful in the role. What does the day-to-day look like? A normal day-to-day is going to consist of, in the morning, checking the emails, making sure no responses or deals came through overnight. Then you want to set up some calls for the day and make sure you have all that done. Now, some people start calling a little bit later in the morning, but depending on what coast you are, you might start earlier in the morning or later. Now, depending on the team that you're on, you're gonna have a daily quota, right? Or KPIs, and that's just your daily amount of calls that you're scheduled to make. So you're gonna have a set number, and at minimum, you wanna make sure that you hit that, right? You can't control anything else. Can't control if they're gonna answer the phone. You can't control if you're gonna close on a meeting. You can't control who you're gonna talk to. But what you can control is how many outbound calls you make. And as long as you hit those numbers while you're looking to grow and get better, everything else will fall into place. So after you start making, or after you make all those calls, you're gonna close out the day with like finishing out some old emails, sending off some new emails, setting up your next day with calls so that you're ready to go for tomorrow. Now, during the middle of that day, you're definitely gonna have some meetings, like some one-on-ones, some mock calls with your other teammates, just sharpening your skills. But on the daily, that's pretty much what you're gonna be looking at, whether you're at home or in the office. Have you ever felt like life was pulling you backwards? Like those big dreams and goals are really just slipping away because of daily struggles? If the tech world is calling your name, and trust me, it should be, but the thought of years in college is really holding you back, I've got the solution. Why do you keep going back to that job that doesn't feel your passion when in just a few months you can master the skills needed to break into the tech industry? Tech sales, front end or back end software development, UI, UX design, software DevOps, and more. Imagine making those big tech salaries that you've been hearing about. If you're not making that on your current paycheck, what are you waiting on? If you don't like the place you're in right now mentally, the money you're making, the house you live in, the car you drive, those dream vacations, it's all connected to where and how you work. So here's my gift to you. In the link in the description or on the screen, you're going to get access to a free starter course to discover where your passion is. And then once you're ready to commit, you're going to get $50 off of your chosen path. All you have to do is click the link in the description or go to getintechtoday.com. That's getintechtoday.com. Do not go into this new year doing the same old things. All right, I made the leap and it transformed my world. Now it's your turn. Let's get back to it. What are the 3 skills that a new sales development rep should have? Number 1, communication skills. By far, number 1. All right, you're talking to other business owners, you're talking to other people in your office. You're going to have to know how to communicate, hands down. It's necessary, period. Number 2, some sort of sales skills, right? You're gonna have to learn how to sell inside of a sales job. Now, as you move up, the sales skills come into play a lot more. Upfront, entry-level role, it's not really high priority, all right? You're coming in, they're gonna teach you what you need to know, right? You're not gonna know their process, like as in the job. You're not gonna know the way they sell, who they're after, so you're not gonna know that up front. They're gonna teach you that. So follow what they have set in place, and the sales aspect will come over time as you put in the reps, as you do the mock calls, right? You'll be good to go. So number 3, having a good business acumen, or the ability to have good judgment. Now, your company is banking on you to make a good judgment on if this business is the right type of business for your company to work with, right? So there's going to be some people who try and sneak in the door. And what I'm saying is there are some companies that if your company has stipulations on a minimum amount of something or what they need, that other company, they're going to fudge some numbers so that they can try and get in and use your software, right? So it's your job to make sure that they don't squeak through to the account executives, because in that call with the account executive, they're going to have to know the real number. So they're going to be looking at you like, yo, Like, what are you doing? You're sending over all these terrible companies that we can't work with. Now, one thing that my AE told me is, hey, in the company, you have a personal brand, right? You have a brand and you don't want a bad brand. You don't want when your name comes through that you sent over a lead, you're not wanting the account executives to be like, I don't know about this, or now I know I'm gonna have to put in extra work or read between some lines or double work just to make sure that, you know, this is somebody that we can work with so I don't waste my time. That's not what we want, guys. So you want to make sure that you're putting in the work up front so that you have a great brand in the company and people are looking forward to the leads that you send over as a sales development rep.